is a must-read for disaster preparedness. It is clearly written, easy to understand, and extremely informative. I highly recommend SurvivalMD. Zabian Crosby. I think that everyone in the US should have this manual. Could save your life. Mike Kirsch. Before I go on and explain what's inside, I want to set the record straight. Here's what SurvivalMD is not. First of all, this is not a medical tome. If you're planning on becoming a doctor or a registered nurse, this is not for you. This is a practical, down-to-earth, plain English course on how a layman can replace the doctor when there is no doctor available and you're in a life-and-death situation. Second of all, it's not a book on how to treat yourself when you can easily go to your doctor. That would be plain stupid, and it would be irresponsible for me to suggest otherwise. If you're looking for a way to stop going to the doctor when there's nothing wrong with the healthcare system, it's my duty to tell you that you might put your life in great danger. Third, and frankly I don't care if this hurts our sales, this is one book I hope you will never need. Just like I hope you never have to shoot your gun in self-defense, but it's wise to protect yourself. Si vis pacem, para bellum. This is a Latin quote I hold dearly. It means that, if you want peace, prepare for war. It's why we keep a big army even though we're not fighting the Nazis anymore. It's why you keep a fire extinguisher in the house. This course is a fire extinguisher. It will not prevent fires, but it might help you put them out. Now that I got all this out of the way, let me tell you why I'm so excited about SurvivalMD. There's no other medical survival course like it on the planet. And I'm not using these words lightly. As far as I know, this is the only course of its kind. Something that will allow you to weather out a medical emergency where there is no doctor. It doesn't matter if it's a pandemic, a grid-down scenario, or a Katrina-like event that clogged hospitals for weeks. Rave reviews for SurvivalMD. I've found your book to be very informative and especially appreciate the lists of supplies suggested. Tammy Barletta. SurvivalMD is easy to understand and uses items you should have available. Also contains good ideas on what you need to stock up on. We've also included lots of information that we hope you never need but that might become handy in a crisis situation. Things like how to use a defibrillator and read an ECG. How to perform an emergency amputation. How to stop a bleeding in seconds. 5 ways to suture skin so it will heal faster. And so much more. Even if there's a complete shutdown of conventional healthcare, there's still hope. Because there are plenty of herbal remedies that will keep you healthier until there's a doctor. For fever, you'll get a doctor's recipe for a mixture of yarrow, peppermint and elderberry flowers. For pain, you'll get 7 powerful reliefs. And lots of proven remedies for cold and sniffing, sore throat, diarrhea and constipation, and lots of other health problems. You'll discover the top 5 most likely causes of death you'll be faced with in the aftermath of a crisis. It may sound weird. But focusing on these means you'll ward off up to 80% of the illnesses. So there's no need to fill your brain with medical problems that have a 1 in a million chance of happening. And that's not all. Inside SurvivalMD, you'll find the worst medical mistakes you can do in a crisis. Like, do you know what you should never do if you're stabbed? People in third world countries struggle with this horrifying scenarios every day because of the high crime rate. There are 2 key procedures to avoid bleeding to death or even getting an infection. And do you know why you should never use a plastic bag or wet bandage to cover up a wound? In fact, doing it increases your risk of infection and even death. You'll learn how to put a dislocated shoulder back in its place just like professionals do. And it's easier than you think. You'll also find out how and where to get a few months' worth of prescription drugs. A little-known secret for getting behind-the-counter drugs without a prescription. And life-saving advice for dealing with a whole range of conditions like heartburn and gastritis, Crohn's disease, ulcerative colitis, IBS, kidney stones, and more. And that's just a taste of what's inside. We worked hard to bring you the ultimate medical crisis survival manual. And folks loved it. Just look at what people are saying about SurvivalMD. Just the information I have been looking for. How to stay healthy without doctors or hospitals. Thank you, Joe Pawlowskis. SurvivalMD is the only survival medicine course on the market written by a real doctor, on how to survive when there is no doctor, proven offer from the team that brought you Backyard Liberty, Blackout. For more information click the link given in the description box.